Hi everyone, welcome to Hall. This is Vidyam Academy's NEET Initiative Most Expected Question Series. This is Rajiv Patel. Here we do decoding the syllabus, analyze the questions, going into micro level depth understanding of the topics. The main key intention behind the class is to bring most important and expected questions for your upcoming NEET examination. Here we come up with 10 unique, innovative, qualitative questions and options for every chapter, subchapter and topic. Once again, let's welcome to all. Let's get started. Today's topic is 12th standard NCERT Biology. The first chapter, Sexual Reproduction in Flowering Plants. Here the subtopic is Flower, a fascinating organ of angiosperms. Pre-fertilization, structure and events. Into this micro-level subtopic is Stamen, Microsporangium and Pollen Grain and the Pistil. Let's begin by the question. Question number 1 is, consider the following statements regarding a typical angiosperm anther. 1. A bilobed anther is usually didicous. Option 2. Each lobe contains 2 microsporanginia. Option 3. Sporangineous tissue directly undergoes meiosis to form pollen grains. Option 4. Tapetum provides nourishment to developing microspores. Here the options are. Choose the correct option. Option A. 1, 2 and 4 only. Option B. 1 and 3 only. Option C. 2 and 4 only. Option D. 1, 2, 3 and 4. What is the correct answer? Would you guess the right answer? Consider the following statements regarding a typical angiosperm anther. The correct answer is option A. 1, 2 and 4 only. Why this is right answer? Let's go to detailed explanation. A bilobed anther is didicous. It has 2 lobes and each lobe contains 2 microsporanginia. Sporangineous tissue doesn't directly undergo meiosis. It first forms MMC, which then undergoes meiosis. Tapetum is the innermost nutritive layer that nourishes the developing microspores. So statements 1, 2 and 4 correctly describe the structure and function of a typical anther, which is most expected question for your NEET examination. Let's move to second question. The second question is, a mutant angiosperm plant develops normal microspore mother cells, but the callus wall surrounding tetrads never dissolves. Which consequence is most likely? Once again, a mutant angiosperm plant develops a normal microspore mother cells, but the callus wall surrounding tetrads never dissolves. Which consequence is most likely? Option A. Pollen grains become multinucleate. Option B. Microspores fail to separate properly. Option C. Teptal cells undergo hypertrophy. Option 4. Endothecium fails to develop fibrous thickenings. These are the options. What is the correct answer? Would you guess, anyone? What is the right answer for this question? Option B is right answer. Microspores fail to separate properly. Why? So here the explanation is, after meiosis, 4 haploid microspores remain enclosed together within a callus wall as a tetrad. The tapetum secretes callus enzyme, which dissolves this callus wall to release individual microspores. If callus never dissolves, the 4 microspores remain permanently stuck inside the tetrad. This directly prevents individual pollen grain formation. So microspores fail to separate properly. So that's what this is the answer and the correct explanation for this. Microspores fail to separate properly. Option B is correct answer in this question. Let's move to question number 3. So here in a first statement we have assertion. In a second statement we have reason. Option A. Tapetal cells often become polyploid and multinucleate. This is the assertion. Our reason is tapetum has a high metabolic activity associated with pollen wall formation. So this is the reason. Option A, both A and R are true and R is the correct explanation. B option, both A and R are true but R is the not correct explanation. Option C, A is true but R is false. Option D, A is false but R is true. What is the correct answer for this question? Would you guess, anyone? Yes. Option A. Both A and R true and R is the correct explanation. How? Let's see. Tapetum actively synthesis sporopollenin, pollen kit and nutrients, making it the most metabolically active layer. To sustain this high demand, tapetal cells undergo endo-reduplication, so DNA replication without cell division. This leads to polyploidy and multinucleate condition, boosting the cell's capacity to produce proteins and enzymes. Since R directly causes A, both are true and R is the correct explanation of this question. So these are the questions and formats which we have in the NEET examinations. Let's move to question number 4. Select the incorrect statement regarding exine. Option A. It is composed mainly of sporopollenin. Option B. It is resistant to high temperature and acids. Option C. Germ pores lack sporopollenin deposition. And finally, option D. Exine is synthesized entirely by the generative cell. What is the correct answer for this question? What is the statement which is here related to exine is incorrect? Yes, would you guess, anyone? Yes, the answer is, the correct answer for this question is option D. Exine is synthesized entirely by the generative cell. Why and how? Let's explain. Exine is the hard outer wall of pollen, composed mainly of sporopollenin, the most resistant biological polymer. It is formed by the tapetum and sporophytic tissue through secretion and deposition of sporopollenin. The generative cell has no role in exine synthesis. Its only function is to divide and produce two male gametes. Therefore, saying exine is synthesized by the generative cell is entirely incorrect. That's what this is the right answer. And let's move to another important question. It's a match the following question, question number 5. The column 1, endothecium, option A, option B, tapetum, option C, MMC, option D, germ pore. So here column 2, which are correctly matched, column 1 and column 2. So here in column 2, the first one nourishment, the second one meiosis, the third one anther dehiscence, and the fourth one pollen tube emergence. So here, which are the options are correctly matched? Option A, A3, B1, C2, D4. Option B, A2, B3, C4, D1. Option C, A3, B2, C1, D4. Option D, A4, B1, C3, D2. What is the correct answer? Could you guess, anyone? What is the correct answer for this question? The correct answer is option A. Why these are the options which are correctly matched here? Yes, let's begin. Endothecium develops fibrous thickenings that create mechanical tension, causing the anther wall to rupture for pollen release. Antherdacen. Tapetum nourishes developing microspores by supplying food enzymes and building materials. MMC undergoes meiosis to produce 4 haploid microspores as a tetrad. Germ pore is the thin sporopollen-free region in the exine through which the pollen tube emerges during germination. So these are the options which are correctly matched, and this is the correct explanation for these options. And next, let's move to question number 6. In a flowering plant, cytonesis during microsporanginesis is absent after meiosis 2. What will most likely to be produced? Once again, in a flowering plant, cytokinesis is during microsporanginesis is absent after meiosis 2. What will most likely to be produced? Option A, 4 independent haploid microspores. Option B, coinocytic pollen grains with multiple nuclei. Option C, diploid pollen grains only. Option D, sterile tapetal tissue. What is the right answer for this question? Your time starts now. The correct answer is option B, coinocytic pollen grains with multiple nuclei. Why? So here the explanation. Normally meiosis 2 is followed by cytokinesis to divide cytoplasma into 4 separate haploid microspores. Without cytokinesis, karyokinesis still occurs, producing multiple haploid nuclei, but the cytoplasma is never partitioned. This results in a single undivided cell with multiple nuclei, known as a coinocyte. Therefore, coinocytic pollen grains with a multiple nuclei are product instead of 4 individual microspores. That's what coinocytic pollen grains with a multiple nuclei. That is the answer for this question. So here, next question is question number 7. Which of the following statements are correct here? Option 1. Sporopollenin is among the most resistant biological polymers known. 2. Ubish bodies are associated with tapetal activity. Option 3. Generative cell divides to form 2 male gametes. Option 4. Vegetative cell directly participates in syngamy. Options are option A, 1, 2 and 3 are correctly matched. And option B, 1 and 4 only. Option C, 2 and 3 only. Option D, 1, 2, 3 and 4. What is the correct answer? Your time starts now. The correct answer is option A, 1, 2, 3 are correct here. Why? So here the explanation. Sporopollenin is extremely resistant to acids, alkalis and heat, preserving pollen in fossils for millions of years. Ubish bodies are tiny sporopollenin granules produced by tapetal cells, helping in exine patterning and pollen wall formation. The generative cell divides once mitotically inside the pollen tube to produce exactly 2 male gametes. The vegetative cell only forms the pollen tube to guide the gametes. It never participates in syngamy. That's what. This is the correct explanation why 1, 2 and 3 are correct statements here. And next, let's move to very good question, question number 8. A student observes an anther section under a microscope and notes 4 wall layers surrounding sporogenous tissue. Which sequence correctly represents these layers from outmost to innermost? So you have to identify which sequence are correctly matched here. Option A, epidermis, mid layers, endothelium, tapetum. Option B, epidermis, endothelium, mid layers, tapetum. Option C, endothelium, epidermis, tapetum, mid layers. Finally, option 4, epidermis, tapetum, mid layers, endothelium. The correct answer is, your time starts now. The correct answer is option B, epidermis, endothelium, mid layers, and tapetum. So why and how? This is the explanation. The anther wall has 4 layers from outside to inside, as you know. Epidermis, endothelium, mid layers, and tapetum. Epidermis is the outermost protective cover, followed by endothelium, which helps in anther dehiscence. Mid layers provide mechanical support, and tapetum is the innermost nutritive layer in direct contact with microspores. That's what, these are the orders which are matched correctly. And next, let's move to question number 9. A chemical selectively inhibits sporopollenin biosynthesis in developing anthers. Which event will most directly fail? Once again, a chemical selectively inhibits sporopollenin biosynthesis in developing anthers, and which events will most directly fail? Option A, pollen tube growth. Option B, male gamete formation. Option C, exine development. And D, generative cell mitosis. The answer is, what is the answer? Would you guess? Yes, the answer is option C, exine development. Sporopollenin is the primary structural material of exine, the hard resistant outer wall of the pollen grain. If sporopollenin biosynthesis is black, exine cannot be deposited or formed on the pollen surface. The intine, made of cellulose and pectin, is a completely separate layer and remain totally unaffected. So the most direct and immediate failures caused by the chemical is the inability to develop the exine. That's what, this is the right explanation for this question. And last question, question number 10. Read the following statements carefully. The first one, tapetum originates from the outermost wall layer. Option 2, microspore mother cells are diploid. 3, pollen viability varies greatly among species. 4, wind pollinated flowers generally produce non-sticky pollen. Which combinations are correct? Option A, 2, 3 and 4 only. Option B, 1 and 2 only. Option C, 1, 2, 3 only. Option D, 1, 3 and 4 only. What are the correct answers? Your time starts now. Yes, option A is right answer. 2, 3 and 4 only. Why? So here the explanation. MMC are diploid, 2N, cells that undergo meiosis to produce haploid, N microspores. They must be diploid for meiosis to occur. Pollen viability varies greatly across species. Rice pollen lasts only 30 minutes, while in other pollen remains viable for months. Wind pollinated flowers produce light, dry, non-sticky pollen for efficient air dispersal. Tapetum originates from the innermost wall layer, not the outermost. So only statements 2, 3 and 4 are correct. So here we explained 10 most important and expected questions for your upcoming NEET examinations. And next, I will come up with another topic which are very important for your NEET examination. Till so far, I would like to conclude this session with very well goodness. Thank you, and thank you so much to all.